What's up, Facebook? You know how we get it started.
To the sky.
Put no music out there. Waiting on our guests. They'll be here momentarily.
Do skies have walls? Open single stalls like Philip and Falls. Highlighting flaws, balls, but walk on through. Trust only you. Mentally check crew. Fake from true. Some sue the system when they can't get with them. Split them or hit them. Tactics is a killer, not feeling but pays. Past masters' ways. The casket praise. Fingers turn slave. Different drugs, same craze. Same path, different maze. Same math, different age. Same craft, different cage. Bondage mentality. Can't release inner energy. Closed eyes can't see. Selves in your galaxy. Vitamin street money. Shot herds nightly. Self-knowledge a key. Eternal mastery. Our strategy for profits. Got neighborhood hot topics. Our children's crop. It's not proper economics, but
Keep your head to the sky. Keep your head to the sky.
trust in us. Every day, living deal with wicked ways. Ill displays of rage, hypocrisy is praise. Stressful situations, corporate administration. Strong as if the faces we know we gon' make it. Keep your head up, we can depend on luck. Mix up or leave you stuck, wonder who you can trust. Wait till the day they all laugh and play. World turns you away, curse not praise. Back to tents of silk, no scenes of blood spilt. Wrong or feel the guilt, thing destroyed, rebuilt. Ignorance out of schools, fools blessed with Jews. Consciousness the tool, righteousness the rule. Dumb can ask why, blind receiving eye. The ones hit a cry, shy testify. It's been prophesied, try and despise. Stop praying to the ground, keep your head to the sky. Stop praying to the ground, keep your head to the sky. Keep your head up, keep it 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 up, keep your head, keep your head. Live your life, you gotta live your life. Come on, live your life, just live your life. Come on, live your life, you gotta live your life, just live your life. Live your life. It's a trap, struggling to read life's map. Focused energy tab, on the truth don't nab. We need pearls, not crab. Insty junkies rap. Where's the meaningful top bag? Eat like the drop bag. Hit my not gun shy. Heart open wide, meaning focused and I. Living lyrics can't die. Multiply, spit fire. Freestyles don't tie. Move the live wire. Takes me on high. That's why I got the people flocking in. For 64 Jews of the Enochian. Lyrics 2 per deity and 1 per men. Overstanding freshness. Concentrated bestness, test this, but that open dinner, lunch, and breakfast. Correctness versus reckless science. Check this, fix on the nexus. 1,000 Malcolm X's, cells like sex. It's water to Texas. Keep heads erect. It's mental internet. It's living your life, just living your life, just living your life.
It's almost
living
over.
your life, just living.
One of my jams. All right, people, we are back again at it, and you see her over there shining. Turn some of that shine down. We blind over here. We
off the big forehead, shine on his big forehead.
How you doing, Miss Visa?
I'm doing okay. Did you get my text?
I did.
But I'm okay.
So I already know what it's about. We good.
Okay, good.
And, that's why I was gonna call you. I was like, something, I already know what's going on.
We good.
So.
We good.
Facts. So, how are you doing this lovely Sunday evening?
I'm doing great.
Oh, girl, we going.
School, so it's been a more relaxing now because we don't have to get up and get ready for school. But
that's what's up. Get you some sleep.
A little bit. Still got to get up and go to work, but it's just not as rushy in the morning anymore.
Yeah, I used to have to take my son when he's in the after school work program, but I got to get up an hour earlier. That hour counts. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So, but barring that, oh my gosh, I've read over the next chapter we going over. Woo! It's going to bring together everything we've talked about so far.
Okay.
and it's going over the stages of creation, but not creation as we think of it as far as earthly creation or even human creation of everything.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a wide, it's going to go over the many into one, elements, compounds. So what I'm going to try to do is, I had a viewer that viewed and she got back. She was like, I know you're well versed in illumination and spectral analysis, and I know what it means. But when you say these super big words, could you kind of slow it down and break what it means down? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I would love, Miss Visa, if ever I'm moving, because I get caught up in the spirit.
Okay.
So I'm just flowing. I'm riding that wave. But if you could ever catch me, be like, what does this mean? Or explain it like, well, what I'm hearing is boom, 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 boom for the people.
Okay.
All right. Facebook, we back at it. You know how we do. We're going back into the book of knowledge. Keys of Enoch. We're going to be on, what are we on? 9 now? I think we're on key number 9. And what is key number 9? Let's look at it. Boom, in the fire letters. So now it's talking about the black cube of Mecca.
Right.
Okay, so the anti-universe is composed of the star field energies revealed on the black cube in Mecca, which shows the fraction or the function and the destruction of 3-dimensional universes. So before I even go on, we're going to break it down slowly. What is the anti-universe? That would be the darkness. Go ahead.
Give me 1 second.
So what are we talking about when we say the anti-universe? The anti-universe would be the darkness. That's the chaos. Why is it chaos? Because it's void of things. Meaning things you can touch, see, hear, smell, taste. Things of that nature. That's why the anti-universe, that's why they fear it so much, because it wipes out everything. It returns us back to our darkness. Did you catch that, Ms. Visa?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I just
okay. So what the anti-universe would be that triple stage of darkness. Out here. Back to who we are, what we are when we get back onto the other side, because we're in a world and not of it. In a world of light. But let me keep going. The anti-universe is composed of star field energies revealed in the black cube on the black cube, which shows the function and destruction of 3-dimensional universes. So now we have another question. Why are 3-dimensional universes being destroyed?
Why are they being destroyed?
Why is it being the 3-dimensional universe? Says that it's showing that the black cube represents 3-dimensional universes that are being destroyed.
I think it's been destroyed because of the consciousness, the awareness, becoming aware. I mean, of the 3D reality. Is that what you're saying? Not sure.
No, absolutely.
Okay.
But I'm saying the 3D is because why? It represents entropy.
Okay.
Remember? Let's get back to it. Remember, we just talked about all that, right? Entropy. It represents entropy. And what is entropy? Entropy is the decaying of matter, the destruction. When the universe, the higher us, the mind part of us, the soul and the spirit works off centropy, the electrification of matter.
Right.
So 3-dimensional universes, or any universes that run off entropy, are in a realm of what do they call it? In a realm of spatial darkness, meaning the realm is basically collapsing upon itself.
Yeah, it says entropy is a lack of order, and it's a gradual decline of disorder. So that's why you're going to go into the next one. I'm gonna let you go into the next one.
Right. So then you have centropy, which is the organization of matter to a higher level.
And that's our elevation, right? Going into
That's why everything is the mind. And when we get into our mind and we train our mind, everything starts to come forth.
Right.
Right?
Right.
All right. So that's just the key. So now let me get into it. So, all right. The ninth key of Enoch deals with the salvation and destruction of star universes within the energies trapped within the cubic form of darkness. What is the cubic form of darkness? Just like you have a sphere of 360 degrees, within that sphere, you can have centropy, right? But you can also have a square. This is called the circling of a square, or the squared circle, one of them. So basically, in a square, you can also have 360 degrees, but they're all right angles. Because of this, around the square, you can put a circle. But because of that, that throws us into entropy. It throws us into fire, air, water, earth, ether. Does that make sense? This is how we go from being in a world and not of it.
Right.
How the consciousness gets transformed.
Okay.
All right. So that's what they mean when they're saying the star energies are trapped within a cubic function of darkness. Why is it cubic? Because it's not round. It's not perfect. A cube is not perfect. It traps light and manipulates it for its own purpose. That's why the Elohims and the Lords of Light work in this realm. Let me keep going. The Kabbalah, the black stone, this stone is said to have been the white stone that Adam brought out of the Garden of Eden, and that it had gathered darkness by the corruption of man's sins. So we see that the Kabbalah and the key geometries of the anti-power of life, the anti-Christos, the anti-Zohar, are languages of Islamic leaders, of Islamic scholars and schools who have gathered at the Kabbalah to bow down to the black stone as they prepare to be liberated Jerusalem, which is known to the place of the coming when the pyramid capstone of light. Within these keys, the positive universe and the anti-universe come together through the mathematics of light. On one hand, through Pleiades and Orion in Jerusalem. On the other hand, through the star systems of Big Dipper, Little Dipper, and Mecca. Okay, so basically, what is it saying? It's you heard me, Miss Visa?
Yes, I heard you.
Okay, so that black stone, the Kabbalah, where they always tell you to go pray to. All it is harboring the negative energies and sins of man.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that like praying at the wall?
Well, it would be like, once again, putting your energies into something that's only going to further your demise.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Because it's not helping you. We're
Right.
into what helps us, what gets us to the next level, higher, stronger, more light, more illumination.
Okay.
All right. So it says the Kabbalah is the key geometries of the anti-power of life. That's entropy, anti-crystals, anti-knowledge, anti-ascension, anti-Zohar, no solely power. Those are just different degrees. All right. The Kabbalah shows that many star universes without the power of the Father. Remember, we talked about before how our Lords of Light, our Elohim, thought to trap our world in their own vibration. Therefore, they got locked out of the power of the Father's love that runs everything. Okay, I'm just trying to remember so we understand. So I'm gonna read it again. The Kabbalah shows that any star universes without the power of the Father, capital L, without the light of the Father, will go through star collapse.
Okay.
So there is no everlasting life without the Father. Or that fatherly energy, that overcoming love of everything.
Okay, so that is coincide with the people who say um of the Christian faith, how they use that term. We're having to why the term father is always used in
Right. Why they
Christianity.
always use the Father.
The
And if
father,
you
right?
look now, you got to remember, even the book of Enoch was made by men. There's no reference to women in this book.
Okay.
Now, to me, that's an issue.
Well, I kind of think they do, but in a more and whenever I hear chaos, I think feminine.
Okay. Well, the Shekinah or the spirit universe is the
Yeah,
woman's universe.
yeah,
Anyway, but
enough.
I stated that, but there's really no reference.
Reference to direct
You know what
reference
I'm
to the
saying?
female. Yeah,
That's kind
to
of
get
strange.
yeah,
That kind of
yeah,
tells me that, men are involved. But
yeah, something else, right?
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The spirit is very acute when I don't hear about no women. Now, hold on. What? What?
yeah,
Nothing. Nothing.
right,
Okay.
right,
That's all. So, you got to put the corporation back into it. That's a
right,
problem with a lot of the scriptures that we read. They've been doctored and it's all man, father, spirit, son, no women. And they do that purposely to try to exclude the woman from the divinehood, from what I know. But let me keep going. So, the black cube is symbolic of the all of the antimatter which passes through the planetary system of creation. It's the alpha and omega tracings of atomic decay and dying star properties. So it's letting you know this is why they say, oh, the sun's only going to last for so long, then it's going to go out and it's going to die. Da, 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 da. All these are part of the scriptures. All these are part of, yeah, of course it is. We already told you it was. You're not
right,
saying nothing new.
right,
You see
right.
what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
they'll give it to you like it's science and have you believe in something totally different than what it is.
yes. So yeah, it's like they just revamped it to create a new narrative to suit a
Yes.
certain number. Yeah,
And guess who's on top?
the 1%.
The ones that create it. The
Right,
narrative. If you can create the narrative, you can control people.
right,
Telelive vision, telelive news, telelive radio. That's why I call it that. Because there's someone behind them creating the narrative for
right,
everything.
right.
All right, so so the black cube is symbolic of all antimatter which passes through planetary systems of creation. It is the alpha and omega, the tracings of subatomic decay and dying star properties. To save people of the world who are under the energies of the black cube is to bring them into the Torah or God's program of light, capital L light. To save the star system of intelligence from negative entropy is to bring the scriptures of light of Orion and Pleiades, and to teach the people of the world the love of God and the love of the Son and the love of the Shekinah, the Holy Spirit, or the woman. So,
There we
bing,
go.
once again, what are we all talking about? Love, love, love.
No.
But it's trying to show you how to love. Love is so big and so encompassing because it encompasses everything. I could love crack. I love crack. You know what I'm saying? I can love it, but that's not really love. But a person will call it love when they confuse lust, desire, and need all up in the same thing. All those things I just mentioned are all separate entities: lust, desire, and needs. All of them separate. But they get bunched up when we become controlled by them. Any emotion that we become controlled by becomes its own entity. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the mind is all. Once you can control your mind, you straight, you good.
Right,
I'm
right.
gonna keep going. All right. The people who are saved of this world are under the energies to save the people of the world who are under the energies of the black cube is to bring them into the Torah or God's program of light, capital L light, to save the star system's intelligence from negative entropy and to bring them into the scriptures of light of Orion and Pleiades, to teach the people the world of the love of God and the love of the Son and the love of the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, or the Mother's universe. All right. Then it goes in with the power, they can conquer the anti-universe. With this power, they can conquer the inversion of the ninth of key of Enoch, which is 666, the negation of the six physical force fields of material creation on all three levels of quasi-stellar creation. Let me break that down because that's a lot. That's a lot. So with the powers that can be conquered, I mean, with this power, the power of what? What power are they talking about? The power of the love of God, the love of the Son, the love of the Mother, of the Holy Spirit. With that power, they can conquer the anti-universe. What is the anti-universe? The universe of decay, entropy. They can conquer it. How can they conquer it? And they can conquer it because they know now that the inversion of the ninth key, which is 999, inverted becomes 666. So 999 would be the sphere's function, light, centropy. Inverted to 666. Now there's a square inside the circle. You're going through entropy.
Right.
Does that make sense? I know I'm hitting you with a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the inversion. That's why numbers mean something. My bad. Go ahead.
No. I was just repeating you.
Yeah, that's why the numbers mean something. So it's talking about the inversion of 999. What is 999? 9 ether. 3 sets of 9. 3 sets of 9. Is that Jazzy? Oh, that was you. Okay. So it goes back to our whole physiology. How we're made up, why we got hair that grows to the sun and no one else does, why all this stuff is happening. Let me keep going. With this key, we can understand how the fallen universes, remember, fallen how? By the fallen Elohim, the fallen lords of light, applied their application of the Father's light instead of the Father's plan. They did their own plan. I'm just breaking it down so you can the story.
Controlling the narrative.
Controlling the narrative. Okay, so this key understands how the fallen universes are delivered through the galactic wars of the sons of light, capital L light, versus the sons of darkness. This is accomplished through the stellar programs of 999, the threefold causality of the Father, Son, and the Spirit. Father, Son, and the Mother. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, the Trinity.
Right. Okay.
You see where I'm going? I'm just so everything is one thing, my love. Everything, all this stuff we studied represents one basic science that always it comes back to. But to get to that, it takes a lot of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, evidence, experience, and reason, cosmic awareness, deep spiritual insight, and universal love. Those are the 3 sets of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's that 3 sets of the triple stage of darkness. Let me keep going. I said that quick. I'll get back to it. All right. So with this key, we can understand that the fallen universe are delivered by the galactic wars of the sons of light versus the sons of darkness. This is accomplished through the stellar programs of 999, the threefold causality of the Father, Son, Shekinah universe operating together on all 9 cells of material creation, neutralizing the 666. So what are we saying when we say operating on all 9 cells of creation? Right now, we're trapped in one cell, one conscious time zone. We have the ability to be able to go beyond 1 to go into a max of 9. When Brother Panic and when they go in their mind and they're gone, they know they're gone. They know they out the body. That's because they're experiencing different time zones, different energy frequencies. Okay, let me keep going. The key is this key is directed to human astrophysics. Astrophysics means the actual study, the science behind the stars, the formations, how they do their things. Physics meaning the inner essence of it, how things are brought together and formed out in space. Okay, it is speaking of the black cube, the cube of Mecca, as showing the metaparticles of how star universes must be destroyed as they pass through three-dimensional main sequence phase if they do not have a greater star power of regenesis. Once again, what would be the greater star power of regenesis? Come on, Miss Visa, what is it?
The greatest star.
Power. Oh, you going in and out. I got you. You back.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Your picture just going in and out. Oh. So we were just talking about, what is it? The greater star power as regenesis. What is regenesis? Regenesis means to re-energize. There
Okay.
you go.
Sorry about that.
So I was saying the greater star power of regenesis. Love.
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 Said love, love, love.
Love, love. We're going to keep going over the same thing. Why is it love? Because love gives us the best way to open up all our activated energies within us through love. But it has to be what's a good word? It can't be a blind love. It's a love with consciousness. It's a love it's going to help what can help.
Is that unconditional?
It's a conditional unconditional. Because you get to a point where you only want to help a certain part of the population, but you still feel for the other population. But at the point, at the essence of where you're at, you feel like you can only do one or the other. You can't help them both.
That's kind of what we're doing now. You know, we're helping a certain population, but actually we caring for the other. You know what I mean? I still love, like you say, it's all love.
It's all love.
We speaking to our people, you know, people who understand, who on this level, on this frequency. Mm-hmm. But for those that's coming into the frequency, hey, this for them too.
Facts.
Right?
It'll get you. It'll show you where you can go, at least how far. Right. I mean, this shit is deep.
The information is there for when they're awakened, when they're ready for it. Right.
You heard it once, so you can always get back to it.
Right.
I haven't seen Mr. Groovology. What he been up to?
He was been working. He's been having shows, traveling. But I think he was talking about coming on today. But he does have a gig. But he said he was going to try to come on.
Oh, tenfold. All right, so let's keep going. We're on the black cube of the Quabab. In Mecca is showing the metaparticles are how star universes must be destroyed as they pass through the three-dimensional main sequence phase if they do not have a greater star power of regenesis. Dark space exists where star evolution is no longer possible throughout the controlled. Dark space exists where star evolution is no longer possible without the controlled intervention. This is known as the degenerate phase of star evolution. So this is all part of the creator's plan. He forms these realms of spatial darkness, right? Because you got to remember, other planets, everything is ran off of his plan, so it's easier to exist. On our world, this shit is difficult.
Yeah.
We're not following the plan.
Because it's what you call not natural.
Yeah, there you. It's not natural. It's something that only comes across every now and then. So then on planets like this of spatial darkness, where you have Elohim, lords of light, you have spiritual beings coming down in the negative form from higher realms trapped down here. You have beings coming down here to program man to help them to succeed. You got demons, Damians, you got it all.
Yeah. So basically I could say that we are in a GMO society, a GMO system. You know?
Fucked up. Look, if you don't know who you are, you fucked up in the game. This is the great melting pot. That's why they call it the melting pot. Because of the conscious energies, all the different kinds that are in here. Everyone will get a chance to get whatever they want to get or know what they want to know. You can be led astray. You can be led
Like
to
you
the
say,
righteousness. You know what I'm saying?
the lords of light are many.
Yes, not one. And that's when a Lord of Light was the God in the Bible that said, I don't want you worshiping any God than me. That was just one of the Lords of Light
So
that created a thing.
So that equal to legions.
That's
That's the Lord of the light of many, because legions just mean many.
all it means. And that means there's legions of Lords of Light.
Right.
Then you have legions of Elohims. Then you have, you see what I'm saying? All these are different duty stations within the Father's many mansions. But we got to open up our mindscape because we've been trapped in this three-dimensional mindset that says this is it. Not that there's another realm right over this one that we can skip to and we'll be done with dying.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So this is why I'm believing that right now. Well, I know right now we're getting to this. It's out there for the people that want it. Let me keep going. So in the Sanskrit text, we have one of the highest truth revealed, which shows that eternal time, the transition of matter as a measure of an eternal night. Thus, time is an eternal ocean of silence from which all secondary cycles of time are formed as they interact with the microparticles of the crystal ever present in the universe. Beginnings of this with this cycle of creation, including all cycles that determine the existence of a universe. So basically, what is it saying? That time is only the calculation of the infinite and the eternal. Time can only exist on these realms of three-dimensional existence.
Right.
With these meat bodies, we track time, everything, because we die, we get old, we age and we get old. Think about a body that we used to have that doesn't die, it doesn't get old. It's infinite, it's eternal.
We're based on a linear timeline, right?
Yes. Our body is on the cross of space and time, which is making all of our conscious focus into this. But if we retreat to the deep regions of our minds, we see that we are not the body that we inhabit in the space or time. We are beyond it. Okay, so what this is just saying is how we get programmed into this body. All this is going on up in the stars and the space and out there. All this is going on, or even within our own self, all this is going on.
Right.
May have nothing to do with outside. Everything is going on within ourselves.
And this is how to remove those layers.
Yes. Get back to who and what we really are.
Yeah.
All right. Because this ruined evolving universe, meaning ours, when the Elohims went to tamper with it and use their vibration or their knowledge to create things, because of this ruined evolving universe contains the body material of all things yet before beyond form, it is beyond the body definition. So it is far as it is beyond the three-dimensional definition of life. It is a corpse unto the living function of light, which man considers to be the beginning. It is a continuous explosion of all matter. Basically, what he's saying, the basics, the very fiber of what we are, because it contains the essence of the all and the infinite and the eternal, it is still beyond everything three-dimensional. Yet, somehow it functions as a corpse, meaning a dead body in the three-dimensional realm. Ain't that something?
Yeah.
So for it to exist, it has to be in a meat suit, a corpse, something that is going to die. But this is all part of the Father's plan so that we can elevate through his universe, through his many mansions.
So let me ask you something. And I like analogies because it helps the human mind understand what we're saying. And I always get stuff that correlates. And you tell me if this lines up with what you just said.
Yes.
So for some reason, the term zombie came to mind. And a zombie is just a meat suit that's out of control. If you ever think of the mind, they're out their own mind. They have no real function without the programming that they have. They just have one set thing to do, to destroy, right?
To eat.
So to eat, destroy. That's all. To eat, kill. That's the only thing it does.
They're look at a zombie as a super animal. Has a brain, has the functions to do better, to think for itself, but cannot.
Okay.
So what does it do? It goes off its carnal natures. What is its nature? To feed.
Right. Okay. So in what you were just saying about being in this body
Uh-huh.
and of our mind and how we operate, would you
Mhm.
say that that's basically how society operates, kind of? That they're not, because of all the layers that's been put on us and the things that we get so distant from who we actually are, that we get here and we're just feeding. We're not.
There you go. And what are we feeding off of? Here we go. Now Miss B, you are such a blessing how you just tied this thing. Because when I say it, you're gonna be like, okay, what are they feeding into? What
Right.
feels good, looks good,
Mhm.
tastes good, sounds good, smells good. And
Mhm.
as long as they're
Like you
feeding
said,
into it, they zombies.
you say zombie.
Gotcha. I
Yeah,
got
that's
you.
why they put it in our face all the time, and we just don't see it. Yeah,
It could
yeah,
be sex, it could be drugs, it could be money, it could be cars, it could be clothes. I don't care what it is. It's something that's outside of you that you think you gotta have and you cannot live without.
yep, yep.
And boom, you brought it all the way to full circle. Thank you again, Miss Visa. Ooh, I'm putting this on the charge right here. I'm charging.
Okay,
But yes,
okay.
for all
But
my
it
people
works.
out
It
there,
works
that
to
is a
have
great
that.
way.
It works to have that to connect to in society. Like, and when I used to hear things, I'm like, okay, let me. How do I break it down to what
Yes.
it is right now? How it is in society, so we understand it. Right, right.
So that exactly what you just did. You brought it around full circle. So
Okay.
we can understand how that's a detriment. That's why I'm always talking about how what people looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smell good. That's killing
Right,
us.
right. Okay.
All of us, white, black, yellow, red, who, everybody,
All of us. Yeah.
all of us. And that's the program. But let me keep going. So time appears in evolution as a constant immensity, a source of light and combustion. And so, in the night of time, which is still in the stage of universal dissolution, light is the first combustion. It appears as a star's beginning, like the bright morning star, the first star ever to come out. That would be that light. And what is light? It represents time, evolution.
Okay.
The clock is ticking. You feel me?
Uh-huh.
Meaning, from this point now, we can have what? We can have objects, things that look good, feel good, taste good, sounds good, smells good.
Hmm.
Okay, let me keep going. The light is in nature the source of all thought. Here we go. For thought is energy, the combustion of a star's evolution, and the instrument of knowledge emulating the object of star evolution. I'm going to say it again. This light in nature, what light? The light that came when time appeared. This light in nature is the source of all thought. And thought is an energy, the combustion of a star's evolution, the instrument of knowledge emanating the object of star evolution. So, whatever we tap into this thought, this conscious thought, this light, we become star evolution wherever we're at, anytime, any planet, anywhere. This star evolution comes with gifts of the spirit, not gifts of the spirit where you think, oh, I'm going to destroy people. No, gifts of protection, gifts of ease. Shit just happens for you. You ain't worried about anything. This type stuff. These are the things that happen when you start to get on the other side of love. All right? Because why? Light is in nature the source of all thought. For thought is energy, the combustion of a star. What is thought? The combustion of a star, the instrument of knowledge illuminating the object of star evolution. You are the object that is being illuminated. When we see the model of the eternal night, life-giving plasma spiraling into many directions. That's the universe. When you see the galaxy and you see those little things going around and the galaxy's in the middle, the center core, and there's little arms floating out, those 7 arms, all right? Those are the life-giving plasma spiraling into many directions. The plasma is thus allowed to come together when it hits an energy field which will impart it shape and structure. So the energy field is already out there before light even got there. The darkness is what gives it its shape and structure.
Okay.
What does that mean? That means the darkness is alive, allowing light to function, to do its thing. So don't look at the anti-universe as destruction. Look at it as change. Okay? Because everything is evolving. If you are not evolving, if you are not getting better, you're getting worse. Either you're going to get on this program. This is basically there. Either you're going to go with the Father's program or you're not. If you're not, you're bound for a realm of destruction. But it ain't eternal destruction. It's a destruction back to the beginning. So now you can try this shit all over again. Fresh conscious. Totally sat divinity awareness, starting off again. So there's a plan for everybody. Everybody gonna get the plan at some point.
Just like with thought, with thought, you have to go into the darkness to gain the light. When you meditating, that's you go into the darkness.
When we're born, we're in the darkness.
Right.
When we say the light comes on in our mind, we're in the darkness.
Right.
And that is a form of what the Father says, elongating the Father's love into realms of darkness. When we have birth, we're elongating that love. Kids, all that. Families, all that. As above, so below. We don't think of it because it's so, it happens all the time, but it's the same type stuff. Let me keep going. So, all right, the galaxies and the anti-galaxies in the third dimension begin to take on the dimensions which humans recognize as star evolution, namely the spiraling form within the cubic space necessary to materialize a blue-white star field within three-dimensional model. The blue-white star field is just star systems like ours, with one sun, planets going around it, all right? In the third night of evolution, the formation of a singular sun system moving within the initial energy fields to become a circular cubic metric, the central form of the galactic fields of turbulence, meaning because we're out of the Father's love, the darkness of space forms our energy to run off of entropy, decay. Because we're not with the original program. We gonna let you still have life. We gonna let you do your thing. But you at some point, the redemptive energies, you get with it or you don't. You do realize, but we ain't even pushing that. You see what I'm saying? It allows even the fallen lords of light to have all the time in the world to get back right. If they want to. Let me keep going. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, all right. So at this stage of star evolution, matter and antimatter have separated due to the radiation of pressure. At some point in time within star evolution, the star is either in matter or antimatter phase and has condensed significantly to produce enough heat for nuclear fusion to occur. And in the interior of the star field of the heavy metals are produced from the original hydrogen and helium until it interacts into a form of iron. So basically what they're saying is how our star field actually came about, how stuff cooled down, got more and more material. All right. Some of these stars became supernova that exploded and scattering their elements throughout the universes. The Eastern science teaches that the energy fields, which are beyond the three-dimensional cubic form, right? Not the circular form, but the square within the circle. The Eastern science teaches that the energy fields that are beyond the three-dimensional cubic form in the night of realization, in the higher knowledge, that Enoch calls this the fourth dimension. The fourth stage of evolution is where the universe makes a way for greater energy flow, a greater offering of creation. It is in this time is when the stellar gases draw towards the stars. All right. It is in the fourth dimensional construct that we understand how planetary satellites of creation eventually feed off the instructional codes of the parent star. That would be Pleiades and Orion. Within these codes of ionization is the framework necessary to materialize thought generation, which is constantly being pulsated through the network of energy. So I'm going to say it again, that fourth dimension. What is that fourth dimension? That's that thought, that energy of emotion, how it breaks down in the chemicals in the body that makes us do what we do. But where does it come from? It comes from the mind. What we have been programmed to. How do we like it? Are we going by what looks good, feels good, tastes good, smells good, sounds good? Or are we going by the inner truth, that spirit of truth that's showing us each and every day if we're open to seeing it? Does it make sense, Ms. V's?
Yes, very. You clear? You clear?
Okay. So I'm going to say it again. Within the fourth dimensional constructs, we understand how the planetary satellites of creation eventually feed off the instructional codes of the parent star, the higher universe, the centropy that's going on that doesn't decay. Within the codes of ionization is the framework necessary to materialize thought generations, which are constantly being pulsated through the network of energy. In this fifth stage of evolution, the sun pours into the world and takes from it the essence that continues its evolution. I'm going to read it again because everybody thinks it's just a one-way thing. It is not. In the fifth evolution, the sun pours into the world and takes from it the essence to continue its evolution. So when the world ain't on the Father's program and the energy's coming off the world or the earth ain't right, it poisons the sun. The signals we send back. What does it do? The solar radiation in the Eastern text is compared with the perpetual beheading of the sun. And as such, the beheading of it represents the life-giving and life-destroying power of the sun. All right? That's why the sun is also the life giver and the life taker. Okay. Double-edged sword in this realm. Truth comes with a double-edged sword. When you learn higher truths, you end up stabbing yourself. Why? Because you feel the pain of what you just learned. Don't get it twisted.
You have to be willing to, in that part of the evolution and part of the double side of the sword is being able to move forward through that. Once you get to come into the awareness, a lot of people turn back and become afraid.
Right.
And go back to what was familiar instead of forging through and said, I want to see what's on the other side of this. I want to go through, understanding more about myself and being able to stand what they call it, stand the heat in the kitchen to get that knowledge to understand more about themselves and know thyself versus saying, you know what, no, this darkness is a little scary to me.
It's a little scary.
I done understood some things, and I seen some things, I heard some things. So now when those other forms of light or come online and you see lords of light of other energies you experiencing within your reality, people get scared and want to go back to what was familiar and to say, you know what, I give up.
Well,
So
so not only is it scary, thinker, you put pain and fear together, what person's going to go through it? Let's be real, Miss Visa.
right,
Let's be
right,
real. And ain't no one helping them. No one saying, "Atta boy, keep moving." It's you dealing with you.
yeah. And that's the thing. I hope everybody understands. The ones who don't know are coming into this consciousness. The pain that you feel and the hurt that you may feel from being betrayed by previous knowledge or your old self. And you can say, well, the church taught me this, or I learned this in the church, and you have to give that up. And it's kind of hurtful. It hurts you because you feel like, who am I in this? Why, what was I lied to? And then to go through that and understand that on the other side is just you. You're not leaving like one negative thing and go to a negative. The whole way it's just you.
Like stairs.
It's
You're
you.
not leaving it. You're just leaving behind because you better now. You on the next level.
Right.
Not that it didn't have something that meant something to you, but now you know better. You can interpret it better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of, because some people, you're right, it does seem like, oh, I was a Christian. If you have love, you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're a Buddhist, all of them preach the same thing. You're just putting a face on it, or a physical denomination, a religion of the world on it. I say I'm non-denominational just because I don't recognize one religion. I recognize all of them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I recognize all of them because all of them got truth in them.
Yeah. But for some people, like you said, that pain and fear combined together, they said, well, now I'm going to draw back and stay in this form of my reality, or this form of darkness, because of the light is too hot. It's too much.
Well, you actually do have to be prepared to know. You got to want to know.
Yeah.
Because once you know certain things you thought that was so factual and true, and you find out was totally erroneous, that you would have died for yesterday.
Just like you said, that's what I want to understand. It's still you on both sides of that thought, of both sides of the experience. It's just you. Just like when I was like, had my own fears and I was talking to Panic, and Pam was like, nigga, what you scared of? I said, what the fuck you scared? What? I mean, just like that, he was like, what you scared of? Bitch, it's you. And I was like, oh, okay.
And that's why I make sure I tell people, all them fear is you battling with you. Shit that you created because you liked it. Now you got to deal with it. Just like you created, you can kill it.
Right.
You're in control at all points, but we've been told, no, Jesus is in control, or God is in control, or whoever is in control over us. So then Buddha, whatever, Muhammad, somebody else, no, it's you. And if we focus, that's all you got to do. Go inside yourself. Turn away from what looks good, feels good, tastes good, smells good, sounds good. And I'm guaranteeing you will find truth.
And that's what we're learning here. That's what it's going to always go back to the same point, is knowing thyself to get to the next level, to become aware, to free yourself, free your mind from, peel back them layers.
Yeah.
To help you through this, right? It's going to come back to knowing thyself.
All right, so let's keep going. So we just went solar radiation, Eastern Texas, compared with the perpetual beheading of the sun. As such, the beheading represents the life-giving and the life-destroying power of the sun. The world depends for its substance on the burning and destructive light. Ain't that something? I mean, if you just think about that, ain't that something? What does it depend on? Not just its sustaining, but it's destructive light. We need it. Ain't this something? That's why I say there ain't no good or bad, no right or wrong. It's all energy. Are you there for a purpose? Are you helping or hurting the plan?
They say the sun rises and sets, some good and evil, right?
Good and evil alone. We see in this picture that's the necessity of given a planetary mind system. We see in this picture the necessity of a given planetary mind system or kingdom of intelligence to separate it from its sun system before the sun totally destroys that planetary creation or planetary or field of intelligence. In this case is where the Earth type of life has evolved. The radiation is necessary, has evolved. Radiation is necessary for the process of photosynthesis from which all higher forms of physical life derive their energy. All right, that's key. I feel you. Oh, we got Jazzy.
Hey,
What's good, Jazzy? Fizzo?
what's happening? How y'all
Oh,
doing?
we deep, bro. We
Huh?
deep down the rabbit hole, my brother. I don't
I'm
know.
I'm just now leaving.
Look, me and
Uh-huh.
Miss Visa, we down here, boy. We got some people on too, man. We down here bad, bro.
Okay,
Uh,
I'm probably gonna have it on audio because I'm
you
getting ready to
straight, bro.
drive.
Just listen in. You'll hear some stuff.
Okay,
Let me keep going. So in this
go
case,
ahead.
the Earth type of life has evolved. Radiation is necessary for the process of photosynthesis, which all higher life forms of life derive their energy. Do you know when black people go outside and our skin turns dark? That is a form of photosynthesis.
Okay.
Just like the plants. We get vitamin A and D directly from the sun.
Okay.
I'm just stating it so that we know the science behind it. All right. It is at this point that life intelligence must decide if it has the ability to go through the cubic life space, which is the squaring of the circle, decay, that's the cubic life space, so that everybody knows that's the decay, to become identified with a higher evolutionary star seed intelligence in the neighboring star system and join to co-participate as a new member of a galactic family.
Mm.
Ain't that something?
Mm.
This is what we've been deprived of. This is the information that we've been neglected so that we will not have a mind state ready to be received when these energies come, when the things happen. We still caught up on everything that looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good. Caught up
The
on it.
zombie. The
Zombie. We're
zombie.
in the zombie form.
Yeah.
Miss V, do you see now how it weighs heavy on my heart when I look out there
Mm-hmm.
in the world and I see this shit? I see
Mm-hmm.
women twerking and everybody about money and gold and jewelry and what they need and me, fucking me. This
Mm-hmm.
shit is crazy. And this is
Mm-hmm.
where we're supposed to be. Our mind is supposed to be on, not even on the earth at all.
Right.
Not
Right.
here. Ain't that some shit? Our mind ain't even supposed to be here. We supposed to be up there thinking about this next shit that's going on.
Yeah. And you know what? I did kind of understand that at their point of evolution, and under this is where what we're witnessing, everybody on their in their cycle, but also in this, I don't know what we're gonna assimilation.
Mhm.
Some things is the distraction is so heavy mental. It's so heavy that now I because of what we're doing now, you can free yourself of those lots. You can free yourself from that heaviness because you'll be able to understand. Okay, that's not of me. That's part of the assimilation. I don't have to take that on. I can release that.
Boom.
I don't have to take part in that. I don't have to let that control my emotions. I don't have to. I don't have to follow the crowd. I don't have to adjust my personality to suit the new trend, whatever's going on, because those things are just part of the layers to keep a part of the entropy system,
Yes.
right?
Keep
And
it going.
so, right, part of the entropy system, so that you stay in this cycle to keep feeding into the system, when feeding off the system, actually, as a zombie, as a mindless person, mindless meat suit,
As
to
the
keep.
system feeds
Right.
off you.
Yeah, it's a
Ain't that
cycle.
something?
You know what? That's part of, but see, that's back to what you're saying. It's all going to tie together in a circle of life. Everything that they just create the narrative to suit the needs. So if you're going to go through the circle of life, They say when an animal die, it goes back into the earth. The earth grows. It feeds. It's a circle, a
Circle of
cycle.
life.
And they also apply that same thing on top of us. We feed off the system, get it with our addictions and our
Yep.
manipulations, and then they feed off of us. The system feeds off
They
of us.
feed off the addiction.
Right.
They feed, remember, the powers that be feed off of
Off
what
the
looks
addiction.
good, feels
Feels
good, tastes
good.
good,
Right.
smells
Right.
good, sound good. If they
Right.
got you in that realm, got you. We
Gotcha.
got you.
Right. Right.
We
Right.
got you.
But that's the thing that we can't have to remember that, like, this, right, this is so important, because if you're gonna know how to get yourself out of it, not to be tied so much into it, you have to be able to go through it, like you said, not to have to endure the pain and release it, because what helps you to release is understanding what entropy and syntropy is and how it's
Yeah.
affecting us and working out in our daily lives.
So you
Right.
got to think some people are using a centropy on what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good. That's all they think about.
Yeah.
How can you go to a higher realm if that's all that's on your mind? Let's be real. You can't. It's impossible.
So
Because
what's your take on the people who have the consciousness, who are knowledgeable of themselves, but they say, well, you know what, I'm going to use my syntropy to feed into the system, or to this cycle of
what would I say to
yeah.
them?
What's your take on that?
My take on that is, me personally, I know I might be a little different only because I've always wanted to know. You know what I'm saying? And I never took knowing as something to play with. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I never
Right.
looked at it as something to play with, something to get a girl with, something to get money with. I never looked at it like that. I always knew that knowing was right there. But for some of us, they want to know so they can deceive.
Right.
They go into knowing what they're going to do.
Right.
You see
Right.
what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And there's no problem with them knowing certain things. But when your attitude is like that, you can only get so far in the game.
Right. Right.
Yeah, we
That's
get
why.
enough. Keep you
That's why.
stringed along. Yeah, but you ain't really doing nothing going nowhere. You know,
Right.
masturbation. Yeah, you having an orgasm, but it's just you.
But
It's
you
just
know,
you.
the thing with what gets me in that is that I would look at people, or even talk to people, or people that I knew. I was like, you put so much energy into destruction of trying to hurt someone else or trying to control somebody else, that you lack yourself, and you in the same, like people. I'm just talking to a cousin about
It's
this.
easier to destroy than to heal.
Yeah, but people they're stuck, and I said, well, they're in the same place they was in 1980, same exact place, and
2024, same
and
space.
have the knowledge, got the spiritual and everything, but just in the same spot, and that bothered me. But then I realized we got to know our villain to know who we
Fact,
are. So that
fact.
releases us, and that releases us into knowing. That's why I said we have to know this system so we can release those things from us. So, okay, my villain taught me a lesson in this story. Okay, I got it. I mean, that's part of this entropy syntropy cycle. So I was just saying that, in that, with people who have the knowledge, and what got to me was seeing somebody who was so great squander that gift to be evil, or do dirt. I don't should say evil, but do these hideous things to
You got
others.
to remember, the higher we go in this thing, the stronger the test.
Oh, new levels, new devils, huh?
I'm being real. You think that this shit ain't no joke.
Yeah,
This
don't
is
stop.
why
Don't
it
stop.
happens. What you just described is why it happens. When you get power that you know you can do something over another person, people, or place, that's intoxicating. Right back to what looks good, feels good. Now it's that look good done turned up a level. Because now
Hmm.
you can do shit that others can't.
Right.
So now it looks different. Same evil, same power, but it just looks different because you at a different height.
Right.
And you got to rebuke it every time. Every time.
Right.
Every level, every existence, every conscious element. You got to choose love.
Because it's the
And
highest form.
because that's the highest form. There's,
Right.
there's no other way around it. All through this book, through the first 8 fire letter chapters of the Father's universe, all he keep talking about is his love. Love, 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 love. In and over again, he talks about how he loves. He talks about how he breaks his love down to others who love. Then he even says, I love you so much, I will let you transcend sin if you want to. This is how much I love you. And when you do, I got a program for redemption for you. If that ain't the goddamn plan, I don't know what it is, bro. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I used to tell Jazzy this all the time. Jazzy, you can come on if you want real quick, but I used to tell Jazzy, yo, the Father got a plan, bro, and I'm with that plan. I'm not trying to divert on it. I'm going exactly how the plan works.
Indeed.
Remember, Jazzy, don't I used to tell you that
I
all
do.
the time?
Still do. Still do.
I know the plan. It's perfect.
Mm.
I can only ride the wave. I'm not asking for anything. That's when it comes in. Well, Jazzy would always say, being humble. I don't ask for anything. If I get it, thank you. If I don't, okay. I'm good. All my needs are satisfied over and over again. I'm the richest person on earth. You know why I feel that way? Because I know. It has nothing to do with what I got. You can put me in any situation, Miss Visa, and guess what? I'm still gonna know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Poor, rich.
That's what, let's do an analogy of really for people to understand, because what I'm thinking about when we say about being humble and what that really means when we say that. We're not saying be humble to the point of that you turn away from abuse or neglect or allowing yourself to be in situations that you know are not good for you. Because people will say, "Oh, I would just be humble, whether it be on a job, whether it be in an abusive relationship, or whatever."
Yeah,
And
we
you know,
ain't
when
talking about that.
God got a plan for me, so I'm just being humble. That I'm not saying that, because at the same time, when I think of being humble, I was not taught that way. Sorry for panic. Like when being humble in certain, you can be humble in certain situations, but humbling is in knowing who you are. Like you said, no matter what goes on, I know who I am, and I'm gonna know. So I don't have to put all that extra into it because of what I know about who I am. That's the difference between when we say being humble versus the humbling yourself in situations that do not serve your highest good. So I just want to make that clear. I'm humble.
Resilience.
I'm humble because I know who I am. I'm humble in my abilities. I'm humble in the efforts that I put forth, that type of thing, but not humbling in situations that don't serve my highest good. And that way, you got to learn how to use your voice and what is there for you to change your circumstances.
That's how you learn how to use your love. Remember, what did the Father say? Father said, your next destination, Miss Visa, will be determined on how you elongate the Father's love in you to others. Now, think about if Miss Visa, just an analogy, you mess with only pigs,
Mm-hmm.
fed them the best food, tried to teach them A, B, and C. It just didn't work. They just wasn't getting it. Of course, I'm making of the extreme analogy.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of working with the people that you can work with. Because if you work with them, they work with others. Now, instead of Miss Visa just working with one person to become this person, no, you work with people so they can become teachers of the truth, period. Their truth. It ain't mine. I don't own shit. I don't own nothing. Everything I'm telling you right now, I don't own any of it. All right? Let's be real.
Right.
I don't own any of it. That's why I freely give it as it was given to me. Some people take and be like, oh shit, I can deceive a whole bunch of motherfuckers. People used to ask me, why aren't you a preacher? No, sir. I'm not a preacher. I'm a teacher. And I create more teachers. I don't create preachers. I don't create students. I create teachers. I'm giving you the
There's a big
science. I'm going to give you the book I'm reading. I'm going to show you the pages. I want you to read it for yourself. Then we can come as one and be better. Because if Miss Visa and Jazzy and all of us done read the same book, that means we all have a spiritual communication that's going to be different from my take. I can learn.
Right.
But I might have went off on a tangent. Jazzy, you had something to say, bro?
No, I'm disagreeing.
Oh, okay.
I'm just agreeing.
All right,
bro.
so let's get back to it. Thank you, Miss Visa. Oh, thank you, Jazzy. Woo. We're deep in the rabbit hole, and we're only getting deeper. We're gonna come out though. We're about to start ascending. Here we go. Oh, okay. It is at this point that the life and intelligence must decide if they have the ability to go through the cubic life space, that's that squaring of the circle, to become identified with higher evolutionary star seed of intelligence in the neighboring star systems and join to be a co-participation as new members of the galactic family. If he does this, it proceeds from his parent star to a secondary star into a pluralistic form of galactic creations of many suns. If it does not mutate into a multidimensionary star directions, it is devoured and destroyed. What are we talking about? If we do not evolve into the next realm, next level of centropy, we are destroyed in the essence of entropy because it's not a natural set. Entropy is a substratum of centropy. All right? Meaning it's under the light, so we can evolve past this. Why is this knowledge important? It is important because people think that this is their last life. I better get everything I can get right now because I ain't gonna live again. Or I may be reborn as a cricket or a mouse or some craziness like this. All right. This information, because it's letting you know that you are a part of a greater star system that does not run off of entropy, the decay of matter, but runs off centropy, everlasting life, if that's what you want to call it. Let me keep going. If it does, it proceeds to the secondary star creation and into the parallelistic forms of galactic creation of many suns. Meaning, instead of one sun out there, there'll be multiple suns. Like Orion and Pleiades, those are star systems with multiple suns. Pluralistic forms of galactic creations of many suns. If it does not mutate, if we don't mutate into the multidimensional star directions, it is devoured and destroyed. The intelligence in the lower heavens is chained to its immediate sun system parameters, which will be destroyed through the evolving, spiraling black cube, the cube space where star energy eats up its own physical byproducts, its own physical creation, and its own creative intelligence. That's entropy. It'll build you up, get you good, thinking it's good, then it'll take it from you. Entropy. It's always a decaying function. All right? To go into the negative or destructive evolutions, to redeem or reprogram these evolutions, require the power of Zokar of higher evolution, the consciousness threshold energy, which is stronger than the sun's energy. This light, capital L light, conscious light, serves as a new channel whereby the transmutation, meaning the changing, the transformation of a species can take place. Thus, the species can be taken off of its planetary disk and go into other star fields before the sun system destroys its chemical order of intelligence. Basically, we ain't got to worry about nothing.
Right.
Never did. I don't care what's going on out there. I don't care what's going on down here. We ain't never got to worry about it because the Father has a plan for everything. The ones that do have to worry are the ones that don't want to follow the plan. This is where you get these earthly rulers from. They'd rather have the earth because they think this is it, when this is the weakest of the stations of power that you can actually have once you get up off of here. Because everything else doesn't depend on entropy. Everything else is light driven. You see what I'm saying? Your power of your thought alone is moving you into higher and higher realms of the universe. Back to the essence of who and what you are. Through your thought, through your love, how you use it. But unfortunately, on this realm, on this earth, which I'm going to be real, we starting to talk about some deep stuff, Ms. Visa. If this catches on, it could be trouble for us. Well, you know, I don't give a damn one way or another. They can't touch my spirits. But I'm just saying, it could be jazzy too.
Well, you know, I saw what Panic went through. Just being around Panic, that was not enough. So I have a good idea of how things get when you reach a certain level of awareness. Things that happen around you and to other people. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, don't get it twisted, though.
The system will try to attack you
if they can.
Yeah.
You know,
they'll try mess with your electronics and you know try to prevent things from happening. We've had it happen already.
Right. Yeah. So it ain't nothing new. They can't do nothing. See, what I know is they're powerless. Don't get it twisted. Powerless. When it comes to what I'm doing. My energy, my vibration is like what Bobby Hemmett said. You can come to my door and come to my street and go to the wrong house, and I'm sitting on the porch looking at you. Look at these fools. Can't even see me. Okay, the energy when you start to work in these higher energies and you go to the realm of knowing, this is why I say that's the most perfect peace, unity. It's like, wow, I didn't even know. How can someone reach this level and ever go back to anything else? Only thing I can see is how you'd be like, all right, I'm ready to get up off of here off the planet, just because this shit is horrible when it comes to being unity and peace. Ugh.
Yeah, I remember, I'm going to say this. I remember one time I was doing a little experiment on Panic, and I was like, yeah, we had like a little back and forth going. And he called me out. He said, bitch, I don't care about that over there. He said, because that shit don't work on me. That don't reach me. I said, okay, I got something else for you. And I tried something else. He said, bitch. He got me right back. I mean, like, I was like, how did he do that? Like, how did he know? Like, how did he? So I got some experience working with him in that way. And it was like, he would know to the T. I had did a mantra. And he emailed me on Facebook. I wish I still had it on my old account. He said, bitch, that shit don't work on me.
And I know you was like, wait a minute, did he just?
I didn't even tell him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I said, okay, I'm gonna do something else. He hit me back. Bitch, that don't work either. When something, like you said, when he's sitting on the porch, it's like I'm looking right at you. I'm thankful for that experience because I'm like, yeah, I want to get to that level. And he used to tease me, say, "Bitch, you want to be like me?" I said,
I'm gonna be real. I don't even feel him. You come at me I don't even feel you. I don't even feel you. Ain't even nothing. And hope that no one, because now don't get it twisted. I got spirits that take up the cause just because they ready to go. I'll be like, nah, let them live. We going by the Father plan. I'm not trying to interrupt anything the Father got going on with none of y'all. We all going by the plan. If I'm going by the plan, we all going by the plan. Don't worry about me. I'm good. I need no avenging. You know what I'm saying?
The therapy that I use, and it's strange because at the time when I was in school, I did not know I wasn't into this on this level. But for my theory that I use in counseling is called choice therapy or reality therapy by William Glasser. And how it's developed is there's 5 things that's in your world. And those 5 things is what everybody focus on. That's fun, freedom, power, security, and love. And
Okay.
those 5 things creates your world. What made me say that is when you said, no, I got this and I got that. When you create your world, your establishment, like you said, it can't work for you because I have my world already established. You can't come into this, and you can't come into this world if I've already established what those things are for me. So no matter how somebody come at you, you're like, no, I know my power. I'm and what's fun to me, what my freedom means to me. I have my security and love. And
Fact.
so there's those things. That's just a theory. It's called by William Glasser. It's one
Thank
of the
you for
theories that you
breaking
use
it
in
down. Once
class.
again, this is exactly what I need Miss Visa to do, to bring me down off my high horse so y'all can hear just the basics. Something on high, something as above, so below. Same theory, though. What you're saying
Yeah,
is facts. So
right.
you can't come on my realm, on my earth, and do shit. So if that's what you think you coming in my universe to do something, you wrong as a mug. All right? Number one, you ain't got access. Everything you do will bounce off and come back to you. That's what I set my joints on. Repel. Bring it right back to them. They want to hate, let the hate come back. They want to love, let the love come back. In fact, if they want to love, double the love. I give energy. I don't take it. I don't need to take it from anyone. Does that make sense, Ms. Visa?
Of course.
I mean, that's what I love about this spiritual stuff. Who changed you up? It's you. Who makes you better? It's you.
Mm-hmm.
Someone can guide you somewhere, but they can't really make you do anything. The doing is going to be you. And sometimes we got to stop and take a little analysis of ourselves. Be like, you know what's up, Miss Visa? You done came a long way, baby. Good job. Pat yourself on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Because only you know how far you've come.
Exactly. Everybody have their personal story. Yeah.
Jazzy, you still with us? No? All right. So, like we were saying, we're only getting back into what? The many and the one. This is how important the one is. And that one represents who? It represents you. All right. You are this one.
So your lips moving, but can't hear you.
Whew, my bad. I got popped off. Hello?
Okay.
You hear me? But I'm back.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you, Mental, but I can't hear Jazz. He was
Jazzy,
talking.
I can't. That might have been my fault when it looked like I got popped off.
Okay.
They said bye. But once again, so it all the way comes back to us. All right, so we're almost done. So we've been talking about how planets can be redeemed, how people can be redeemed. We're talking about how we can go from three-dimensional beings into whole light beings. I mean, I don't know how much better a person could tell someone else, but like, yo, you know, you don't got to die no more, right? That everlasting life they was talking about can be achieved while you're alive. You don't necessarily have to go anywhere.
Right.
But that's how they keep you in control. If they can control if they can control the narrative, Jazzy.
Yeah.
All right,
Can you
we
hear
hear
me?
you, bro. Yeah, we hear
Okay.
you. All right, so In the cosmology of the Earth, this means that without a new program of spiraling light from the intelligences connected with the program Israel, our sun will have to use up its supply of fuel, for it cannot depend on its thermal pressure to balance the force of gravity indefinitely. All right. All right, indefinitely. So the 7-star seal of evolution, the night of frustration, which explains why our planetary intelligence of man cannot go beyond the 7-fold nature of the cycles of change. Man is chained to his geometric cycles, whether it is the 7 days of creation, working with the earthly cosmologies. Here we go. We're talking about that 7 again. Whether it's the 7 years within the aging process of the body, every 7 years, the body takes another step towards completion. Every 7, first 7,
Okay.
14, 21, you get another element, you get another energy, you get another gift of the spirit every 7 years until you're dead. That's what they're talking about when they say the 7 agents of, or whether it's the mathematics of 7 seconds, 7 milliseconds, or nanoseconds before the Faustrian explosion occurs to the inner dimensions of the mind. A portion of star evolution is also in your mind because the star which you really see out there, you cannot absolutely experience within your mind. So the star system or that sun system has already an energy force in its own phase, breaking up and evolving within the mathematical consistency within you, because you are a mathematical realization of the greater phase on a smaller scale. Hold on, I'm gonna say it again, but did you hear it, girl?
Great on smaller scale.
Yo,
I heard you. I heard you.
I don't think they heard me, girl. I don't think they know who they are, but I'm gonna say it again. A portion of star evolution is also in where? In your mind, because a star which you see out there, you cannot really experience within your mind. So the star system in you or the sun system has already energy force fields of its own phase, breaking up and evolving with the mathematical consistency within you, because you are a materialization of the greater phase on a smaller scale. Here we go again, taking us right up off this bullshit. Adam and Eve, all this, that. This is who we are. We are ionized, conscious starlight. Okay? Conscious form of starlight, stardust. Let me keep going. Our
That's the
physical
name of my
intelligence.
candle company.
There you go. Our physical intelligence must be prepared itself for greater space-time changes that are taking place within the human kingdom of intelligence and all other kingdoms of intelligence, which appear when the human universe is being destroyed, and when the outer universes collectively adapt themselves to our finite human universes. That's that entropy. All the universes going through entropy. In the 8th stage, we where our finite order and the infinite cross. Once we the finite and the infinite cross, we become infinite. If we go according to the infinite plan. Let me keep going. Other universes collectively adapt themselves to the finite human universes in the 8th stage, where the finite order and the infinite cross, the one in the many, the one in the many thousand, the one in the many million systems of intelligences, all interconnected with the millenniums in man's search for paradise. Man then sees how he is a part of 1,000 space-time cell of redemptive creation, which brings about an age of peace as the night of frustration is past. This whole night of frustration, this means this whole peril that we're doing, this whole life we're in. The night of frustration. Why is it frustration? I can pretty accurate if you ask me. This whole living is frustrating. Or it definitely can be. The more you know, the more frustrating it becomes. So what is it saying? It's saying that we need to open up. We got to find that we're part of the many in the one in the many thousand, the one in the many million systems of intelligence, all interconnected in a millenniums in man's search for paradise. All of it's all connected. This is how large this shit is. And we're a part of it. Whether we think we are or we're not, it doesn't require you to know, but you are. And we hopefully at some point will overstand this, and we can make our choices for where we want to go next. Right now, people be like heaven or hell. Really, they ain't going nowhere. They're coming right back to a physical planet. If it ain't this physical Earth, it'll be another one somewhere else. Because you're always going to start off, go to the next realm right where you left off, unless you finish your work.
Ouch.
Right, man recognizes in his greater peace that there is no death, but only a recycling energy within the very variety of evolutions which occur. The eighth stage, the consciousness star birth or the rebirth, which refers to the collapsing star progressions where photon orbits are in interconnection with patterns of collapsing bodies or collapsing star systems. That's your entropy. Once again, it's just saying that at every level, shit is collapsing on itself. At every level, when we get to this realm of the destruction of the whole physical realm. All right. In this stage, the physical transition, if man is not connected with his eighth chakra, he will only exist on one chakra of thought form continuation, or in phases which can be recognized as several fragment thought forms in etheric form or transparency, neither of which is significant to incorporate him in a material phase of existence. So, what is it saying? It's saying that if you cannot activate your powers of love, if your heart is not lighter than the feather, the Mayat, if you cannot do this, what will happen? If you can't, all of your thought forms will always be in the one phase of thought, the lower thought forms, your lower chakra. Those first three that are automatically developed. All right. And then what will happen in phases, which you can recognize that you will be a several fragmented thought forms in etheric form or in transparency, neither of which is enough to incorporate a physical body. So you'll be wiped off into the ghost state. This interphase evolution represents fallen masters of knowledge and thought forms from lower creations which have been destroyed on this planet. Yet they have survived because they are within the realms of photo amplification, which still administers to the kingdom comprising the greater gravitational radius connecting to our physical life station, with realms of creations which we cannot see but share our local space. This is what I say in their frequencies. We're layered. There's another, if we can turn our frequency up just 10 or 100 more volts or whatever, we'll see a whole different world, similar to our own. All right? These thought forms of lower creations which have been destroyed on this planet. So this isn't the first time thought forms, bodies, entities have been destroyed on this planet. There's been much destruction. As long as this planet been alive, it's been used for this physical creation. These cycles, 25,000 years, the precession of the equinox, 652,000 year full cycle. They've been going on since the Earth's been going on, because in these, they were caught. Why didn't they die? Because they were caught in the realms of photo amplification. What is photo amplification? That's centropy. Comes right back, Ms. Visa. That's centropy. So because of the thought forms that they were thinking, and they were even though they were rebellious enough, they still had hope of redemption. They gave a damn. They felt bad for what they've done. All right, so it is time when the star continues. At this time, when the star continues to collapse in such a way that the immediate star becomes so intense that all photons are drawn towards the gravitational radius. The radius is the center of the circle. Everything is getting pulled in like a black hole. That's why you've been hearing all this black hole activity.
Okay.
Black hole, black hole, black hole, black hole. These black holes are not only, they don't represent what you can see, they represent of what's going on inside of you. As above, so below. They represent what's happening inside of us. All right. It is time when man must use the knowledge which the Chinese, the Tibetan lords mark the capital T, capital L, capital V, representing the mirror of the collapsing star field. The mirror allows spiritual man to see the future of life through the formula of how matter is rematerialized within the new energy time set. This enables the forms of one time set to appear in another time set through direct biolocation. Biolocation just means a living rotation. T, or the time factor, is a different star evolutions, forms, and angles where the V vector factors of the star evolutions cross with the orbital patterns. L is the wave, the length of the inner penetration, which allows the matter of one energy field to another energy field. The vectors line up so the vectors line up so that one energy universe suddenly appears within another. So this is when we had that, when the planets were all aligned. This is just an alignment. But not only if they're saying it's a solar alignment, it's also an inner alignment of ourselves, which allows us to go from one realm of being on entropy in bodies of meat suits to being in bodies of light that don't decay. Just get better and stronger with more purified light and more purified light as we rise up. All right. Man who goes across this spectrum, his dying star space, and enters the 10th level of the Kamalia, the Lotus Girl, is a consort of the everlasting Seva, who protects the world as the Earth Mother, the Earth womb of all chemical creation and growth. She is identified with Vishnu, the physical form of the Lord of Light, or the higher mind. The higher mind puts on as it materializes its thought form into physical chemical bodies of a given light system. Oh my God, we just talked about how they didn't say nothing about the women, right? They just talked about you, and I'm going to say it again because I want you to listen carefully to what they just said. The Lotus Girl, the woman, the Shiva, the Vishnu, the who protects the world as the Earth Mother, the Earth womb of all chemical creation and growth. She is identified, capital S, she is identified as Vishnu, the physical form of the Lord of Light, or the higher mind puts on as it materializes its thought form into physical chemical bodies of a given sun system. Meaning, the creator can't even come down here without you because he ain't got no body to get in. Can't even form without you because this is your essence. You represent the womb. You represent the body that inhabits the spirit, the soul, the emotions, everything. And without that representation, we cannot be down here.
It's chaos.
Chaos. The womb, the growth. You envision what? The physical form of the Lords of Light. They didn't say one Lords of Light, Miss Visa. All the Lords of Light. How important the woman is. Let's put her on her statue. Let's give her love. All the Lords of Light come in the image that you form for them. In your essence. As Lords of Light, or the higher mind, the infinite mind puts on as it materializes its thought forms in the physical chemical bodies of a given system. Just wanted to say that. That's how powerful shit is. That's how powerful the woman is. You're on, you got us on mute. He said, I can't hear you. Yeah, we can't hear you.
Your mic not on.
It says your mic ain't on. Your mic. There you
There
go.
you go.
Oh, we
No.
still can't hear. Go out and come back. Go out and come back. Yeah, so it didn't say much about women, but in this little chapter right here, verse 92 of the Book of Knowledge, Sanskrit 109, all right, it says everything you need to know about the power. So you would always represent that darkness of space from which the sun, SUN/SON, comes out of.
Okay.
For a thing to have an object, for it to be in objective space, it must work through the mother. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any form must come through you if it's going to have form at all.
Right.
Come through the woman. All right, so, and if the sun seeks simply its own splendor, meaning our Illuminati, meaning our fallen lords of light, it must exist in the night of darkness out of the existence of its respective galaxy, living in darkness rather than in the pluralistic light of the many in the one. Boom. What is it saying? It's saying that we're already a part of this whole many in the one. The only thing that stops us from being a part of the many in the one is us.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Wouldn't the Father already, the Most High already be here though?
Be here is what? He's here is us.
In this whole foundation.
Everything.
Right. So
every plant, every rock.
I was just asking because the part about what you said that he can't come here, but isn't it already here?
In the beginning was the what?
Word.
And the word would represent what right now? Use the other W. Woman.
Right.
In the beginning was the what? The word. The thought, the idea came through. It said a word. For that word to have form, it had to go through the mother. The energy of the mother that gives form to all things.
Okay. Because I was thinking
You
that
want me
it's
to read
just
it
it's
to you
already a
again?
thought.
Nope, listen, so I'm going to read it to you again
Okay.
so you can understand.
Okay.
The scriptures of light explain how the Lotus Girl, in concert of the everlasting Siva, the eternity of the night of eternity, who protects the world as the earth's mother, the earth's womb of all chemical creation and growth. It didn't say some, it didn't say a few, it didn't say any, it said all. Okay, I'm reading word for word. She is identified as Vishnu, the physical form of the Lord of light, or the higher mind puts on as it materializes into thought form, materializes its thought form into physical chemical bodies of a given sun system. Not just this sun system, any given sun system. You see what I'm saying? So all I'm doing is relating it back to where, okay, in the beginning was the word became flesh. The word was flesh, God was flesh, boom, boom, boom. That's just saying God was everything at that point right there. Put his word out there. His woman received the word. What does a woman do when they power up a man? They change it. They give birth. What did she give birth to? Flesh, objects, solar systems, universes, galaxies. See what I'm saying? Birth. Birth doesn't necessarily have to mean birth as in male, female. Birth can be as a beginning. Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
All right. So from this point on, a star collapses. Well, this is science. You don't really know. Okay. Here we go. Enoch said our universe began on a spiral rather than a steady state or a Big Bang position. What does that mean? Our universe began on a spiral rather than a Big Bang position. The difference is in a Big Bang position, we would have been created out here on the edge of the realm, on the edge of the universe, on the edge of the spiral, where if we came in and it was a and if it came in and it was a spiral, that means the the Father's plan was already in work. We can still have a physical drop and all that, but that just means the Father's plan was working until someone interrupted it. The other way is the evolution of the whole system hasn't evolved enough yet. That's why you got the Big Bang Theory, which it actually starts to evolve and you become a part of that. That is a different existence, or a different, one is ascending, one is descending, but that's a whole different story. Let me keep going. So in respects to the many and the one fields of evolution, which all share this local space, star space, including galaxies moving faster than the speed of light that pass through our local space, the human creation does not have to be destroyed with the death of its physical sun, or have to suffer the karma of its physical sun, because it can transcend its solar spectrum. To be karmically released from the cycle of creation and destruction, Earth's intelligence must adapt to a subsystem of another star path. All right? Meaning, we must now take our minds, our thought patterns off of what's going on down here and pay attention to what's going on above us. What's going on in higher evolution? How do we get there? What do we do the different ways? Now, I know right now this is so far and few beyond all of us, it probably even sounds ridiculous. But listen, the redemption program, the Lords of Light on Arcturus, for example, tell us that they supervise all evolving intelligence within sun systems on this end of our galaxy. Their star probes are projected into the sun systems in a desire to re-evolve our sun's chemical environment, which would allow the star seed to connect to greater suns and greater evolutions. In order for man to enter a greater evolution and have his image remade in the Adam Cadman, the 5 bodies of light that goes on to this one, that allows us to go through to any star systems, he must first go through the night of destruction and the night of despair. He must go through the negative cubic star energy spaces that surround his organic kingdom. What does that mean? That's that decay, entropy. He is also recognized, if he is to recognize the key to the anti-universe from which the teachings of Enoch, man must first see the multiple evolutionary phases that he is currently going through to understand the complexity of other star kingdoms of benevolent, nice, and aggressive intelligences with respect to Earth's planetary creation. Secondly, man must see the Earth's kingdoms with respect to the limitations of its singular sun system, which is rapidly approaching a point of critical mass factors and neutral mass factors manifesting in solar storms. Here we go again with the solar storms that we've been having. Same thing. Everything they talking about is starting to come out. Because the tremendous geomagnetic change on the Earth's planet, even to the point where massive destruction will be released by the torch factors. Third, man must see the mapping of the human evolution within the multiple star charts which were left on the planet by for human mind to understand. When we look out there and we see Pleiades, Orion, we need to know what they represent and how they represent. All this stuff was left for us to know. All right. And last but not least, they tell us how the star seed evolution remakes once they are beyond the planetary and singularly patterns of star evolution. So it's saying that this is a continual process of remaking and building. Therefore, arise, man of the earth, and shed light, for the new heavens and the new earth are being created upon you, the very glory that shines forth the light. And that was a big one.
Yeah, that was a lot.
But we broke it down. I think, if you have a problem, like I said, always go into the chat, slow it down, bring it back so that you can see it again.
Right.
Or hear it again. So tell me, Ms. Visa, anything. What do you have to say for the final comments here?
Well, the one thing that I see as a major takeaway from this one, from the information that we got here today, is to go back and listen to the how synthropy and entropy plays out in your daily life, and how to navigate those by identifying who you are in the process. That's going to be the main thing, because that it'll take away all the other things that's going on around us simultaneously. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like while everything is going on, which mental call the sugars, but all those things are going on around us and that we're seeing in the world, and that we even may be experiencing ourselves to a degree, we can understand how light and dark is playing out in our daily lives and how we utilize that. That's what I want people to really look into from this from the information you got today.
I like that. That brings me into consuming. If you're consuming, eating, once again, looking good, feeling good, sounds good. If you're consumed with that, right, that's the problem. Because none of those things are beneficial to you.
Yeah. You're not a scientist. You're a scientist. You got to get this stuff and research.
Right.
Research. Look at it, come to your own conclusions, so you cannot be in fear or pain as you move forward in your knowledge and understanding.
The good thing, the spirit of truth is in all of us. It will guide you to what you need to know, but you got to take some steps. What up, Jazzy? You have it on? Oh, okay.
I'm here.
Yeah. The spirit of truth to guide you like it guided me. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say the whole concept what she was talking about, like the new levels, the new devils, that was important. And it's just like what you were saying as far as like when you go ahead, the higher you you reach, that there's gonna be, new tasks, and it's just like this just doesn't end just because you got to a certain status or a certain and then the part about humbleness, I was when I was in transition, I was listening to the part where it's like a lot of resilience, as far as like, she made sense. It's like doesn't mean that you're a pushover. It means that, like you truly know yourself, and it's not where you're gonna go ahead and just where she was explaining, just gonna let people treat you any kind of way. That really hit home with me.
Facts. Facts from the Jazzy. Well, once again, we're almost 2 hours in.
Okay.
We have other things to do and people to see, but thank you for Miss Visa. Thanks again for coming on, Jazzy. Hopefully, we'll get a little more of you next time. Yeah, you're in and out. But once again, another key under the belt. Why do I do this? These are the things that I have known, that I've been experienced to see it and feel it and watch it happen. So I just want to say thank you to all my people, that comes on to want to learn. And these are not my words. These are the book from the Book of Knowledge, the Keys of Enoch. If you can get a hold of it, get a hold of it. But it's highly spiritual. You need to know a lot.
That's true.
Wendy's. Go to the Walkery. I used to love eating at the Walkery. Look, I'm on there. What looks good and tastes good. See, even me. Got it. See what I'm saying?
Part of our humanity. That's it.
Hey, I'm still human.
We got that. It's not serious all the time. We were just talking to Mr. Guvalji about this. We are here too to have fun.
Yes, and experience stuff.
Right, and experience stuff. So yeah, no extreme is good. You got to have that balance.
There you go. No extreme for anything.
Right.
Unless it's getting right.
I'm gonna get this dinner finished.
All right, dear. Thank you. All right, Jazzy. People, thank you very much. Car Talk. 1